it's Magdalena, Wolf of Coins. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's June already, and it means Kupala Night is near. It's one of the most important Slavic holidays and celebrations. If I were to pick two, it would be both solstices. Winter and summer solstices are the biggest, in my opinion. First, some housekeeping. My coloring pages are already in my Etsy shop, but there are also other new things there. So if you're interested, check it out. I have tarot readings, Lenormand Grand Tableau reading, and I have also added recorded readings. So I call them video readings, meaning you don't need to schedule a meeting with me. You can ask me your question while purchasing the reading, and then I will do the reading at home and record it and send you the recording. So this is a cheaper version, and you might be interested in checking it out. I have also added, this is only for the video version, a short and sweet reading. Something similar to the readings that I did in my last live. So you now have more options to choose from. And the short and sweet is great for like a simple question and a little taste of how I'm working. Since Kupala Night is near, I'm celebrating, so I have created a promo code 15% off on everything in my shop with the code Kupala23. So it will last till the end of June. So yay, except that I'm away from 14th till 18th of June, but other than that, I'm here and I can read for you. So since I've just finished working on my Kupala Night coloring pages, I thought I would share with you. First of all, yay, I'm done! And second of all, I will talk about those customs and symbols relating to Kupala Night. Kupala. That's why I wrote this funny little letter here. In Polish, it's not Kupala, it's Kupała, which means an L with a line here. And this is noc, meaning night. Here we have one of the symbols of Kupala Night, which is a mystical fern flower. That's why we have ferns here. And normally fern doesn't bloom, but according to the legend, it blooms on this one night only. And if you happen to find it, it will lead you to a treasure. So now you can understand it like literally, like it will show you a treasure, or we can see it as a symbol for illumination. So this is the first page, and I had some fun creating this non-existent in physical reality flower. So I added the fern leaves buds are such a cool decorative motif that I just had to put it all around here. And then there is quite a bit on traditions and symbolism, and I chose to draw a mugwort, which is Artemisia vulgaris, and this is the most important plant of Kupala Night. So first of all, you can read here, this is festival of water and fire. After Kupala Night, it was okay to swim in lakes and rivers, because before that you could offend the water spirits and drown. It was also an important time of purification Similarly to other like liminal moments in the year, the gates between the worlds were opening, so various entities and spirits were roaming the earth on Kupala Night. So it was important to purify yourself with water. It was important, especially for women, to take a purifying bath. It was also believed that it brings them beauty and energy and fertility. And also you purify yourself by jumping through the ritual fire. It was an important part of the celebrations to burn like really huge bonfires. So through water and fire you got purified. Kupala Night is the night perfect for love magic. Even nowadays, modern pagans advertise Kupala as Slavic Valentine's Day. Like, why do you need Valentine's Day when you have Kupala Night? Well, I think you can have both, especially because they're like a bit far away from each other. But yeah, some people see it like that. And for a good reason. I mean, people see it as the festival of love for a good reason, because you could, I will talk about it in the next page. But anyway, it was a night where your regular rules for being chaste were not really working. So people enjoyed themselves. They went to the woods together. It was actually searching for the fern flower together, like a boy and a girl. It was also a euphemism for them just leaving the party to enjoy themselves in the woods together. So any love spells done on Kupala Night were very, very potent. Other important herbs are, for example, St. John's wort, which will be also on the next page. I will show you. There was also adder's tongue, but I didn't include it here simply because it is an endangered species right now. So I do not encourage anyone to pick it. But yeah, adder's tongues used to be a pretty popular magic herb, and you would have to pick it at night while naked and search for it while walking backwards. So very complicated. It was good to go to the woods to find it before the night fell, and then go to the place you already knew to find it, because otherwise, yeah, might be hard. But of course you could use other things for love magic. This night is a night of love. So, mugwort. We sometimes call mugwort our Slavic sage because we use it like you would use sage for cleansing and just to improve the vibes and purify the place. We would use mugwort, and it was also used as wreaths and belts, so people, to protect themselves from those spirits and entities wandering about Kupala Night, you had to have protection. So people would make wreaths and belts from mugwort. Later on, it stayed as like a folk custom, and people said, "Oh, this is so that your head won't hurt for the next year or so." But possibly this is to protect you. Also, we know from the chronicles that in Poland it was a very important celebration, especially for women who used mugwort to worship their goddess. And the chronicles, there is the Interpretatio Romana, so the author of the chronicle would use a Roman name for a Polish goddess. He wrote Diana. It is possible that it was Devana. So it's almost the same name. It comes from brightness. So goddess Devana or Diana was worshipped by women then, and with the use of this herb and with dancing and singing and clapping hands. So searching for the fern flowers I have already mentioned. And now we have St. John's wort. I have already started coloring mine. So St. John's wort is another protective herb which is closely related to Kupala Night because it blooms around this time. Folk tradition says it exactly blooms on Kupala Night. And it's called St. John's wort because summer solstice celebrations were so important to the people that the church tried to replace it with its own, and they picked Saint John the Baptist because he was related to water and entering the water, you know, the ritual bath. So it kind of fit. But even so, in the chronicles we can read that on St. John's Eve, you won't see people in the church. You will see them by the rivers burning those pagan fires and jumping over them. So yeah, floating wreaths are another important symbol of Kupala Night. It was a way for young people to get married without their parents' consent, because traditionally this was the night of union of water, the female element, and fire, the male element, and people, because people are like nature, they could also become one. So this was an ancient custom that it was like your escape route if you weren't married yet, but you knew that your parents will pick you someone soon, and you don't trust their judgment because, for example, it's an old cruel widower that you despise. Then what you did, you made a wreath and you marked it, like you tried to make it individual enough so that your boyfriend would recognize it and find it. So the girls created those wreaths, put a candle inside. So this is again the union of water and fire. And they entrusted the wreath to the river. So here they put it, and somewhere there were the boys waiting to catch the wreath of their beloved, or maybe they just wanted to get married and entrusted their fate into chance, into the choice of gods, because you could also like pick a wreath of someone you didn't like date. So it was a very, very exciting thing. And once the boy picked the wreath, he brought it to the girl, and then they could get married, like finalize the ritual by jumping over the fire together, holding hands. And then they were married. So, yeah, these are the customs of Kupala Night. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is the second set that I have prepared for a Slavic holiday. I also made for the spring equinox. You can find it in my Etsy shop. And I'm planning on creating new ones as time goes by. It is quite fun. When creating the mugwort page especially, and the bit with the St. John's wort, I felt like a bit like a creator of an old herbal book, you know. It was nice. It was fun. Anyway, wherever you are, if you're preparing for the summer solstice or winter solstice, it's just another side of the coin. Just as I said, both solstices were very important as those borders cutting the year in half. So yeah, wherever in the world you are, happy solstice that is coming soon. Bye.